Hey friends, come join me and Big Daddy for a ride around town. We had to go out to pick up Big Daddy's prescriptions at Target, and it was my first time to leave the house since last Sunday. And so we decided just ride around and sightsee and not do anything. We didn't get out anywhere, we just rode around. And so I thought I would just take you guys along with us to see some of Monroe and West Monroe. Right now in the video, we are in West Monroe, and we're just driving through one of the main streets of West Monroe. Trying to stop at the red lights and not run them. Big Daddy. It's a beautiful day, and the temperature was really nice. This is one of our big hospitals in town. It's the only one in West Monroe, and it is in bankruptcy and looking for new owners. So I don't know what's happening to it, but I hope it don't close because we do need it. And so, yeah, we're just riding around. Like I said, the temperatures were like 90 degrees, which is a whole lot better than 100 degrees. Big Daddy's singing. He's got Elvis blaring. He loves listening to Elvis, and so he was singing along with him. I knew I was going to do a voiceover on the whole video, so it didn't matter that his music was playing. Oh, but it was nice to get out. I had had a rough day, a lot of frustration and disappointments, and I just needed to put everything down and walk away from the house and get out and see something different. And so this is kind of like a little therapy session for me. And I hope you guys are enjoying riding around town with us. At this point, we are still in West Monroe, just driving through town. There's nothing really exciting in West Monroe or Monroe. It's the same old that's in every town, probably. Now we're crossing the river here, going into Monroe. That is the Ouachita River. So we're crossing over. And now we're in the big town of Monroe. So we're going to go down a little ways and then cut through Dakota's neighborhood to get to another part of Ouachita River. We could not turn left at that stop light. There's a no left turn. You have to turn right. But we wanted to go left, so we come down a few blocks. And now we're in Dakota's neighborhood. This isn't the street he lives on, but we turn on that. But there's lots of big, beautiful old houses in this neighborhood, and sometimes I just like to drive through there and look and see, all the beautiful homes. So yeah, actually, I had thought about we could drive by the bakery and get a slice of cheesecake, but at that point, by the time we got to town and done everything, got to town and we realized that the bakery was closing, but I would have loved to have gotten a big slice of cheesecake. Now we're turning through so we can get on the road that Dakota lives on. We are going to pass by his house. Not sure if I should point it out or not. He doesn't have his address on his channel, and this really won't show his address, so I don't know. I think I have shared a picture of his home before, and maybe I've even shared it in videos before. We'll see. But we're just driving that long. His road is pretty long, and he lives at the end. So it's a long road, but lots of beautiful homes, lots of interesting things going on. I don't know what these plants are right here, but they did catch my eye, and they were beautiful. They made that yard look really pretty. My yard is not pretty at all. No can do. So I like to admire pretty yards. Oh. Lots lots of beautiful homes through here. I've said that, but just saying, as we're getting closer down to the end of the road, hopefully, it's a very long road. It really is. It cuts through this whole side of town. Oh, I think I see the end up there. Yep, we're getting closer. I like that willow tree. Every time we pass by that, I always admire it. Yep, lots of, and they have lots of beautiful trees in this area too. And so we are coming up on Dakota's house, actually. That's it, right there, with the big front porch. That's where our son Dakota lives. And that is Forsythe Park over there. And so we're just going, we turned this way for just a second so that I could get the Allegiance Hall and the big tank in video. That's a big army tank, and the Allegiance Hall right there. You couldn't really see the tank that well from that direction. And then there's tennis courts. I think they're even building new tennis courts. Or that might be the new tennis courts. It may be. I think that's the old tennis courts there, but people play soccer out here a lot. There's always soccer teams practicing and such. So that is the levee in front of us. So we are going to go up over the levee. So it's going to be uphill for just a little bit. And over that levee. Isn't the sky just beautiful? It rained and rained and rained last night. And today is such a pretty day and better temps too. So this is over the levee, and that is Ouachita River in front of us. So I love water. Water is calming to me. I love to sit by water. I just love to be near water. I could set a chair out there and watch that water all day long. If it wasn't for the sun, I could enjoy a day of just sitting there watching the water, hearing the waves. The only problem is I would need a restroom and no sun. Not sure what that lady was doing. Well, she was on the phone, but I guess she was just walking. And so we're on the Monroe side of the Ouachita River. I look across the river there, and on that's the West Monroe side. And there's a few houses there and some houseboats, and more even go in the other direction. But people do live in those houses and on those houseboats. So that is the Ouachita River. That's the boat dock right there where people put boats in and go fishing or skiing or whatever it is they're doing out there. Having lots of fun, that's for sure. Now we're back up around to the levee, and that's where, Dakota lives on the other side of that levee. But we're going to go down on the inside of the levee a little ways and just have a look at the Ouachita River. It is a beautiful river if you appreciate water. I mean, I wouldn't get in it. There are alligators out there, but there were people out there. And there's, always people out there swimming, boating, tubing, skiing, stuff like that. And those people were enjoying fishing. They looked like they were having a good time. And it was the perfect day because it was such cooler temps. And not only was the temps cooler, it wasn't high humidity, so you didn't feel like you couldn't breathe. The air was very breathable. And there was lots of people out here just enjoying their day. So I'm glad that we did get out and took a little ride through there, because I love seeing families just having fun and enjoying each other. It does make me miss my family being together all the time, as my kids grew up, we were always together doing stuff, and it did make me miss my family, but I was happy to see other families out there having a good time. And so that's what we saw all down the river, was lots of families and just people out enjoying themselves and having fun. And in July, we don't have many days where the temps are comfortable enough to get out. So it was an unusual day for sure. There goes a boater. I sit at that picnic table, one of those picnic tables, a lot. That's just a nice place to go and sit and do whatever. And there's little ponds on the other side, and you can see there's families out there having a good time. But I do like to go sit out by the river and just watch the water and the people, boats, jet skis and such going up and down. There's volleyball courts and so a pavilion with picnic tables, but lots of times people get up a group and go out there and play volleyball, which looks fun, but not for me. Not for me. I don't need to be in the sun, and I also don't need to be jumping around like that. But I'm sure they're having a great time. That guy by that red truck was just dancing. He looked like he was really enjoying his day. And the cops do patrol this area really well. There's not supposed to be any drinking or anything like that here, and they do close this road at dusk. So I think that's 8 p.m. in the summertime is closed. And the cops do come and run you off, because me and Big Daddy got run off for sitting and eating ice cream one night. We were watching we pulled up to eat our ice cream and just watched the river. And the cop came at 8 o'clock and told us we had to leave. So we got run off from parking at the Ouachita River. And like I said, this is just a little pond between the road and the levee, and the river is on the other side, on Big Daddy's side of the car now. It looks so peaceful, doesn't it? What is your favorite thing to sit by outside? I mean, do you like water? Do you like mountains? Do you like the beach? Caves? People have different things that they like. I like water. I'm a water person. I grew up in the water. I've just always loved water. I love hearing the waves. Which the only waves that would have been in the Ouachita River was the waves from the boat. But there were lots of boats going up and down, so there would have been waves. There were some ducks out there in the pond too, but you can't see them because the video is so far back. But there was lots of ducks swimming around. Isn't that lovely just to see families having a great time? We used to take our dogs out there. Elijah had a German Shepherd many years ago that he did training with, and we would take her out there and he would work with her, training her and stuff. And so lots of land to do that. And we would do that during the school day when there wasn't lots of people out. So that is one last look at the Ouachita River, I do believe. I don't know, Big Daddy might have turned around. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think he was turning around. He thought I was wanting to film something, but I really wasn't. But there was some boats coming or going or something, so I might have got that. I can't remember at the moment, but we'll see. I think there was some jet skis out there. Yeah, and then there goes the boat. I know that's probably very hard to see, but it's there. So there would have been waves. They sped up about right there because then they got out of the no-wake zone. So, yep, now we are just going to go back over the levee and back into, we're still in Monroe. So we're going back over the levee into Monroe. And down the levee we go. And the levee is, keeps the river. If the river was to rise and go up to the levee, it kind of keeps the river contained. So, and that's happened. It's needed at times, but not right now, thankfully. We're doing good. So, yep, Dakota lives right over there. So we are just driving on by. Just driving around, not worrying about anything, because we don't have nowhere to be at no certain time, so we're just driving around wasting some gas. Well, I figure I hadn't been anywhere in such a long time. That is, the Washita River is behind those buildings. So that is the Children's Museum there, and the Washita River would be on the back side of it. So we're driving along the Washita River, although you can't see it. This is downtown Monroe. The other area we was in was considered the Garden District, and now we're in downtown Monroe. So that's a restaurant there that has a deck on the back where you can eat out by the water, and it used to be one of my favorite places to eat. And this, we're coming up on Cotton. That is another restaurant, and you can go out and sit by the water, but I have never been to this restaurant. I'm sure it's pretty pricey, and I didn't turn over there because there was people eating right in the window, and I didn't want to get them. And ahead of us, that used to be called Austin's. It was a very fancy restaurant at one time. There's a fountain across the street from Austin's. But that was a very fancy restaurant. People would go there for prom dates and, things like that. Wedding receptions and all. And there's the house on top of that building in front of us up there. Now we're back to seeing Washita River. And this is considered the River Walk. And this is kind of a sketchy area, even though it is straight across the street from the courthouse and the Washita Parish Sheriff's Office. There's lots of homeless people that hang out here and sleep here, I guess. But the problem is, if you stop and help one, 30 more will come out of the bushes and ambush you. I mean, me and Big Daddy had to run to the car before because we were out there walking around, and we did give someone some money, and then this whole gang started towards us, saying, "Can I have $1? Can I have $1?" And we were scared. We really were. And we had to just run to the car as fast as we could and get in. So, yeah, that is Riverwalk, the Washita River. We used to go there and do prom photos, homecoming photos, any kind of things like that my kids had. We would go there and do photos with the Washita River in the background. And sometimes they have craft fairs out there, different events, and they'll have, people can go and set up. Me and my boys did that one time, and it wasn't fun. The wind was blowing all our stuff over. That is the Washita Parish Sheriff's Office right there, the brown. And then this gray, that is the Monroe City Courthouse. So that is our big courthouse right there. And, okay, so we're turning the corner and going down. Oh, yeah, I know where we're going now. We're going down beside the courthouse. And then we're going to turn and go behind the courthouse. But we're going to find a certain building. We think it's back here. We're looking for the oldest building in Monroe. It was built in the 1700s. And so we're going back there to see if we can spot it. Okay, so we're behind the courthouse now. And this is it. This little building right here. It's kind of a white stone. It has some brown there on the side. That is the oldest building in Monroe, Ouachita Parish. It was built in the 1700s. And I think he said the Women's Allegiance Hall or something owns that building or something. And that is the backside of the Sheriff's Department, Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Department. So, that's it. Let's see what we find now. I can't remember where we went next. Oh, that used to be a high school. My mother-in-law went to high school there. Now it is I think it's a senior living facility. So now we're still in downtown Monroe. They're trying to revive this. They've been trying to revive this area for a few years, and so they're doing a great job. Lots of buildings have come back to life, and just lots of things going on here. That's a dance hall right there on the corner. We've never been there, but it's called Harvey's Dance Hall or something like that. There's a few clubs right up in this area. They look like they were about getting ready to crank up. In that area there at that bridge, a lot of homeless people do hang out there, so we do go there sometimes in like the fall to pass out hats and scarves. That has been a tradition that I always do with my boys. We would go there and pass things out that they would needed, even if it was socks, that we bought at Walmart and made packages. I always tried to instill things like that into my kids. And I hope they have a good heart today because of it. So this was not planned. Like, I'm not trying to show y'all our police departments, but that is the Monroe Police Department right there in front of me. And that's just by accident that we kind of ended up right there. And that's just a few streets behind the other sheriff's department that I showed you. We have a police department, Ouachita Parish Police Department, and then we have a Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office, and then a Monroe Police Department, and a West Monroe Police Department. So that is our civic center straight ahead. Lots of events. Concerts used to be held there. Rodeos, circuses, all kinds of big events would be held there. Now, we decided to just keep riding around. We wanted to go check out some more water. So we're headed to Moon Lake. I have not been there in years and years, and for sure, I did not even recognize the place as we drove up through here. I didn't even recognize it at all, and I didn't even know where we were headed. So this little bit right here is just filming the parking lot. As we turn into here, I think Big Daddy just turned into the parking lot because we thought that went somewhere, and it didn't. But we didn't know. Neither one of us knew because we haven't been there in many, many years. And I even was talking to my son Dakota on the phone later and told him we went to Moon Lake, and he said, "Where's that?" Because he didn't even know. I don't guess he's ever been out there. Not as an adult that he remember, we might have went when he was a kid, but he don't remember. So, anyway, it's a little swampy area. Maybe you'll notice in some of the trees, you'll see moss hanging down. Now, I do love the look of moss hanging down, but we cannot get it to grow in our trees here in our yard. We've tried before. So that is called Moon Lake. It is not close to our house at all. It is way across town. Way across town. But we went, we saw. I think I might get more of a close-up of some moss hanging down the trees. Yeah, you might see it better in those trees. I love that little bayou look to that. And I would love for our trees to grow moss. And you can add moss to them, and sometimes it will spread in the tree, and sometimes it doesn't. And ours never spread. Ours just died. We are headed home. I love driving through this tunnel of trees right up here. That just speaks home to me. And I just love driving through those tunnel of trees. So thank you guys for joining us on a little just drive around town. That's what we did. And I thought some of you might want to get out and drive around town with us today. So thanks for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. That's when this video will go out. And remember, it's a beautiful day to enjoy your life. Bye, friends. I love you all.